Future Focus Challenge. Are you excited for day 5?
I am so excited for day 5. Put in the comments right now how excited you are to make it to day 5.
Yes, you're here, right? And so again, if you are watching day 5, what do you say to them and they've not watched day?
So if this is the first time that you're actually engaging with us for the Future Focus Challenge, I implore you to please go back to day 1 and start from that day onwards, because we feel that if you go in this order, you'll be able to get the best experience possible.
All right, so I love this this day, the challenge for today, because it really, for me, it ties that bow on the gift. Right, that ties everything together.
I like that.
And so when you think of defining your dreams, which is what we're doing in this first week, we're talking about now defining your dreams around the life area of essence and spirituality. Essence and spirituality. And so before I say what is in this life area, let's remind you, you should know this already, of the ultimate question. Okay? The ultimate question is this: if time, if money, if people's opinions and fear were not factors, y'all, were not an issue, what do I truly want to be, do, have, or experience? That is the ultimate question. I really want you to take that question to heart, because it should open up the dreams and the goals and the vision that you have.
Absolutely.
And what do you want to be, do, have, and experience in this life area? Let me tell you what is in this life area. Oh, so good. Your soul. When you think of soul food, like soul.
Encompasses
your inner self. Yeah, your, who you are inside, your inner self, your truth. Such a strong word. Your intuition, your faith, your practices, and your being. So this is now what do you want to be future focused in around who you are as an individual internally.
And it's funny that you should say it like that, because if you went back to, if we just take a quick recap for day 1, we talked about what?
Career, money.
So it's your finances, right? And then day 2, we talked about your health, which is your body and wellness. And then day 3, we talked about your education, your self-expression, things of that nature. And day 4, we talked about your heart connection. And so if you look at all of those areas, and yes, it's pretty strategic what we did. You caught it? There you go. But if you look at that, all of that comes together for the soul of a man, of what it is that your identity is. And so that's the steps of what we want you to take on.
And there's so many good examples here. So I'll share some from my experience.
There you go.
Definitely one of the top of my list is to always get closer to God. That's always on my future focus, list. To worship more, to make reading the Bible a habit, right? And being specific, reading 30 minutes a day. That's definitely a future focus goal. To have a stronger prayer life. To develop a strong meditation practice.
Yeah, you and I talked about that, and you've taught me a few things in that area.
And now I do it literally every day.
With the visualization,
definitely. Another good example is, who do you want to be, right? So I love this example from a student: to be peaceful. Just to be more peaceful. Right. To continue to search for my inner self. What are some that you would say under here?
A lot of what you said, actually, and taking it a step further. So a part of me wanting to get closer to God was showing up how he looks to other people. So for me, that became, how did I serve? How did I serve others? How did I volunteer and show up? Exactly. And so believe it or not, I learned so much more about myself when I volunteered to do in my community, in my church, and things of that nature. Prayer then also became important to me, because it helps me to center and focus on even a posture of gratitude.
Yes, that's a big one too.
Being grateful and finding contentment wherever I am. That was something that I had to learn, because I can tend to be a striver and I want to go and get stuff done. And I think 2020 taught us that whatever life we thought we had is different. And so wherever you found yourself, you had to learn to be content and grateful.
Yeah.
So some of those things
Definitely,
were the
definitely.
things that I looked at to develop.
Yeah, I love that. And when I think of other students or other persons who might be writing, be peaceful, be grateful, be more loving,
Yes.
be more
Yes.
accountable, be more truthful, be more giving. These are the things that
Gracious.
you write down.
Yes.
Gracious. In this life area, anything that you want to be, anything that you say, you know what, if I can be a better person, and I don't want you to actually just put better person. Be
what do you
specific. What does
better.
a better person look like and feel like and act like and speak like to you? And that is what you want to share for this life area, right?
And I want you to, as you're doing this exercise, take into consideration your personality. If you know that you're an introvert, I don't want you to try to create the extrovert, because that's what people tell you. Well, you don't laugh with people, but that's not your natural personality. So look at this time to look at who you really are, what you really gravitate to. Now, if it is that you want to be a more outgoing, how can you create that look within your natural personality?
Yeah, and it goes back to that ultimate question. What do you truly want?
Absolutely.
Right? Not what someone else wants. And you know what? That is such and we definitely can bring that up during Morning Mindset, but that is such a big thing. We tend to really go by what people want for our lives.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what it is? Because, even from a child being conditioned, you're told to do this, or if you act like this, nobody will like you, and all of that.
Bossy,
yeah,
too talkative,
right? But we don't realize that these are all a part of our natural God-given gifts to make our way in the world. And it's only when we go back to the source, go back to that, we can find our true identity. We can also find our true pathway and purpose for our existence.
I think what is also good to talk about here, because we are talking about inner self, is to be intentional about awareness, having the awareness to determine who we are already, who we are right now, right? And put that mirror to ourselves. I remember reading a book by David Goggins. It says, it's called They Can't Touch Me. Very life-changing book. Got some explicit with the word cuss words.
Yeah.
But if you can get past that, you will hear a story of a man who went through hell and back almost.
Wow.
And his story, and he talks about looking in the mirror, that accountability mirror, and identifying who you are now and then who you want to be. Now we're talking about future focus, like who do you want to be and who do you want to develop yourself into? Because we do have the potential to become whomever we want to become.
Absolutely. And the first step to doing that is writing it down. Listening is easy, but doing the work is the hard part.
The work. So I think it's time to give them the mission. I get it right this time.
You hit the day 5. She got it, y'all.
I got it right.
Yes.
The mission, aka challenge. And so your mission, should you choose to accept,
and you better accept it,
is to take the time to write out what do you want your future to look like in this life area, the area of essence and spirituality. And before I give you those areas again, the ultimate question, if time, money, people's opinions, fear were not factors, what do I truly want to be, do, have, and experience? And what do you want to have or experience or be or do in this life area relating to your soul, your inner self, your truth, your intuition, your faith, and your spiritual practices and your being? That is it.
Oh man, we've been on a journey this week. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you for joining us so far. But if you've been doing the work, you realize that there is a distance between where you are and where you want to be. And that's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, I don't think you've done the work deep enough if your picture doesn't scare you.
Yes, I love that.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so we want you to definitely take the time. And if you've missed a day or so, this is the time to kind of catch up. Use the time and catch up. Because guess what? We are going into an epic weekend. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Keisha,
Yes,
what do you
listen.
think we should tell them?
Should we give them some more suspense?
Hmm.
Future Fest. I just
Yes.
want you to write it down. Future Fest. So here's what's coming. Okay.
All right.
You've written out your future focus vision, your
Mhm.
goals for the next for these 5 areas.
Mhm.
Now we want to take it up a notch. We want to challenge you. We want to help you hear from people who can
Our
give you
experts.
further insight, further information, further knowledge,
Mhm.
further inspiration
Absolutely.
in these areas. So because what I love about this is we tend to think that our dreams are big until we hear from other people.
Exactly.
Then we look and say, wow, Jesus,
I was dreaming, I was living small.
I wanted a store. This one wanted a plaza.
Thank you.
Okay, I need to
or
go back
conglomerate, multi-level,
And this is what Future Fest will do for you. And so stay tuned for more information on Future Fest. You do not want to miss it, but you have to do the work first. Post your information for this mission in the chat, in the homework thread. Complete your 5 challenges, your 5 missions, and get ready for what's to come.
Thank you for taking the time to go along for the ride so far. And you have now made it to the end of day 5. Have a great evening. Bye.